Hello guys, another night of the NAOL reviews, another night of very exciting games. Today our three games are very evenly matched. Almost all of these players are 1Q. And okay, let's get started. Number one is Howard, and then that's over here. The second game is Das versus Lee, Neo, I think. That's this game. And the number three is Chen. You know who I'm rooting for. My last name is Chen. All right, let's start with game one. Great. Okay, so this game, wow, this game ended with a half pointer. Cool. All right, let's start. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, this very slow methodical opening is AI approved, so it's absolutely good. Also, this just shows how Howard is taking it slow, slow and steady in the beginning of the game. Okay. Alright, the one space low pincer, and then Howard chooses to crawl underneath. This is okay, it's AI approved. The other Joseki is like this, and most of the time black plays here. White takes the upper side, and the game goes on. If you guys are looking for some very aggressive variations, this one is one particularly aggressive variation, something like this. Okay, so we're back. White counter pincers, this makes perfect sense, and black jumps out, this makes perfect sense too. One thing to remember, guys, is that during the opening we tend to play where both we and the opponent are weak, and the positions are unsettled, or more play is to be had whenever both sides are not settled. Alright, so another jump. This is black clearly has an attacking stance against white now. Okay, and then white does a very reasonable run out. Okay, let's see how black continues in this. This general area is very urgent, again, because both sides are relatively weak. Okay, this is certainly one way to do it. Another thing that we can recommend is when we fight, we generally want to do both attack and defense. So when we do think about the defensive component of our moves, we generally like to strengthen the weakest part of our stones. In this case, it seems like it's the outside three stones. So like this move in the corner, this move, even though these two moves do not look like they are strengthening the outside three stones, but as you guys can see here, it leaves black a backdoor to home, and so it sort of indirectly strengthens the three stones like this. See, there's still a backdoor like this. And the added benefit of this type of play is that you are also taking territory in the corner at the same time. And by taking territory, you're also strengthening the corner as well. So both of these moves are recommended. If you do want to play faster, this jump out also recommended. Okay, so in the game, black plays here. This is generally a fine move. It's just that in this case, this move does not provide the outside black stones with a way home, and also it's strengthening a already relatively strong group. So it nags at me. It nags me a little bit. Okay. In the game, white plays this inside-out peep. Of course, for go efficiency's sake, we almost always want to go outside in. Any moves that are on the outside are generally more valuable than moves on the inside. The exception is that if you're extremely weak on the inside, then you have to play on the inside and make some ice. I don't think white is as desperate now as as desperate now as for these kinds of inside out exchanges. Two more presses is very recommended. If black harness, we can cut, and then we can play these and cut the outside black group. This way white only has one group and black has two groups. So if we can get more additional push and then extend exchanges, then we can clearly see now that black is a little flat on the side, not that much territory, and then now white may feel strong enough to start going outside in, something like this, 5, 6, 7. Maybe we can force black to start making two eyes, and that would be a huge success for white. And you can noticeably see white starting to take over the bottom half of the board. Okay, very recommended. In the game, white does something very, very similar, so fairly good job. Fairly good job. Black plays here. Yeah, this move may be a little. It's forced. We understand why black has to play this. We have to make this group stronger and everything. Okay. If black feels that, if you guys are watching and you feel that black is getting taken advantage of, this black move isn't doing much in terms of territory and stuff, you can think of the other recommendations earlier. Take this in the corner, take this territory in the corner, and ask and say, I'm taking this corner territory. I'm also giving my group a way home. And if you want to keep attacking me, you have to, as white, play these kinds of moves that are not making any territory. And that's a very good way to start defending, or it's a very, very active way of defending as well, making territory at the same time. Okay, and so in this case, another very strong continuation is to tenuki all together and play something that's very, very big, such as this approach, the lower right approach, and wait for white to let white come to you and attack. And this is just saying that I have taken more value outside in other parts of the board, and now I don't, I no longer require that much to be satisfied. For example, black can play these, these kinds of very, make my two eyes and live kind of moves now, because black has already tanukied, and that in a way is taking a lot of the pressure off of black. By the way, this is my favorite kind of strategy as well. I leave myself a little weak so that my opponent, white in this case, is not satisfied letting me live with two eyes very simply. And therefore, white is gonna start to play increasingly aggressive, and then suppose white comes in here, takes away the black eyes, and then black plays a sente here, and then something simple. And we can start counter-attacking and look for major opportunities this way. And this way we have the double whammy effect of, first we tanukied once, so we got something big, and the next we just want to live small, but the opponent doesn't let us. So once we start counter-attacking, and if we gain a little bit, we would have gained here and with that tanuki move anyway. So it's a very, very good way of getting ahead. Okay, in the game it's a lot more conventional, and dare I say a little boring, as black But this is perfectly reasonable, and I totally understand why Black has chosen this approach. Okay, so the game goes on, and White is the one to Tanuki first, and continue to develop on the bottom side. And the game kind of evens out. It's very balanced now. Black has some territory, White has some territory as well. It is a little painful for Black in the slower left corner. Black does start with a lot of stones in the area. We have 4 to 5 stones surrounding this one white stone, and then at the end of this Joseki, at the end of this, White is the one with 10 points, and it's not clear where Black's points in this location are gonna come from. So as Black, it feels a little bit, it feels a little lacking, but I can't come up with any easy, simple ways of getting something better. I can't think of something like this is too strong. White is gonna block and then extend in one direction, and then this is gonna be good for White. But something like special tactics here, maybe, and then this, press is an okay move. Another special tactics move is here at E2. This is forcing White to move to the top. Suppose White does something like this, which is the most reasonable thing I can think of. We can play into the corner. And now White is gonna be facing the relatively strong Black side. White is not gonna make much territory. Again, this is special tactics. I don't know the details of the special tactics, but maybe we have to Hane now. Maybe this is what we have to do. But this is at least getting us in the right direction. Another thing to try is to play the press when White plays here. Play this Hane connect in the corner. This will force White to play another move here. Play in the corner. This is all like encroaching on the corner a little bit more so that White is a little less comfortable. Anyways, these are special tactics, and when your teachers, when others tell you that when you get really strong, you have to start forgetting your josekis. So first you learn your josekis, and then when you get really strong, you have to forget your josekis. This is the type of situation, special situations that they are talking about. Okay, in the game, White does have 2 very solid corners. Black has 2 very solid corners, and now it is again up to Black to come up with something creative, something extra to get ahead in the game. So now one idea is to start looking for trouble within the weakest part of the White shape. Something like this would be successful for Black, would be labeled a success. Maybe we push here. When White Hanes, we cut. We are threatening this Atari and connect. So if White connects, this is some progress. A lot of progress is being made. So if we can get White to extend one more time, this really slows White down, and then something like this, and we can make some territory on the bottom. That's an idea. However, White can protect the cutting points in Sente, but even so, White doesn't totally protect this. For example, later we can push and cut. So this would be a very active way to engage this position. It's hard for Black to start to just surround territory and be satisfied. So we try to look for weaknesses. Another potential weakness is on the top. I can think of this move. If we don't lose these stones, if we don't lose the black stones, we would have destroyed the white ice space. Another thing is to peep here. All good ideas. This kind of an extension is what we recommended many moves, but we did not recommend like just extending, right? So, so I knew black was gonna play something like this. That's why we recommended a lot of those more aggressive, active moves. However, with that said, the normal move is a 3-space extension. And in this game, clearly black is aware of that, it's a little bit lacking, so black extends 4 spaces, which is very, very reasonable. Another good factor for this is that because even though white's lower left corner is very, very comfortable, because it is surrounded by black stones, this extend down is very, very likely to be sente. Something like this is almost for sure to be sente. In fact, white is probably going to back off to c2. This way, black has a little bit more strength here than usual, and that would allow black to extend further. So very good recognition there. And in this game, white is the one to strike first. Very interesting. We did recommend black to strike first, right, and start attacking. White actually starts attacking, and it's very, very strong. Let's see how black responded. The counter pincer over here is my first instinct, and it's probably a good one. This way we are gonna, the 4 black stones is not likely weak, does not look weaker than the 1 white stone, and so we'll have an even fight here. And black has just played 2 extension moves that are making territory. We just recommended something that was counter-attacking, and in the game black plays the purely defensive move of this jump. This move has the added effect of being counter to our thickness principle. Right now, realize white has not only territory in this corner, white has a lot of thickness because this corner is totally strong. So if black plays something like this jump, black is not gonna make much territory around this very strong white corner. So this move is slowing black down a little bit. Maybe a lot, but certainly a little bit. So we're in the middle game where speed of development, like speed of progress, is very, very important. So I highly recommend everyone, you guys, to take on this sense of urgency, the need for speed. That would allow you to, that would make you, alert you to play these more active moves. For white here, again, also we can consider some attachments which are, more sente, and then this way we can, continue to attack black. If we can get black to make a few more jumps, all these moves are not gonna surround any territory for black. This Hane Connect, likely sente destroying, reducing the only uncertain territory for black on the bottom. That could be a very active way of doing things. So white loses sente as well with this 2-space extension. Again, this looks perfectly reasonable, but if you guys also, like me, develop this need for speed, you guys will look for even more active ways of playing, and then trying to get one up against your opponent. So same thing here. This is a very, very common shape. The connect is almost always played. This move runs into this kind of an issue, probably not recommended. But if you think about the same thing we just spoke about, this Hane is in a very good time. Remember, black has a lot of thickness on the middle left. So as white here, we welcome black to capture another one of our stones there, and then we can go and switch over to the bottom side. This would be very, very good for white. So if this happens, black is likely to block and then play the Satari. This way white gets Sente by white does lose some points, but white gets Sente. White also gets this endgame later, so another, if we have this need for speed, it may, alert us to potentially faster ways of playing. And if you play like 5 fast moves and your opponent plays 5 slow moves, I don't care how much advantage your opponent has. 5 moves in the middle game, any advantage is all gone, and any like close game is also lost if we are able to play fast, or to play faster, or to develop faster than the opponent. So in the game, black does have Sente, and this move is very, very good. It's a reinforcing move against the right hand side black's group. It's adding territory. It's also making an onshore territory more solid. It's also going to help out on the attack against the white group on the upper left. So fairly good in the game. So in the game, same. Remember before when black plays this jump, this N7 jump, white is not so concerned because that's not going to surround territory for white. The same is true for black because white is very strong in the area. Even if white can surround territory, it's thickness territory, and black does not feel any any loss from this. Okay, so in the game, black chooses to live in place. This is highly recommended, and now white finds a position where, because white stretched out to attack black, now white has to eventually come back and then connect to the thickness, which is gonna not surround any territory for white. So I'd say this attack for white is not succeeding yet. So white does do a good job of Tenuki, and then looks for, here we can see, between the two, white is a more active player and the more ambitious player, and then if the game ends up in white's favor, this is going to be Y. Okay, and this jump, the next move is cutting off the white stones in the middle. White ignores that and then really reduces down the black territory on the bottom. Also, white then plays this large endgame move. So, okay, so clearly white is more ambitious and looks like it's paying off at the moment. And this is what black has been building up to, the attack against the 2 middle white stones. However, because white has played so many endgame moves already, it's not clear that this is going to be big enough. Okay, so peace is had, and then we go into the endgame like this. When this happened, okay, let's see who. I was thinking this exchange might happen. So black captures the white stone, and white is able to connect back the middle stones. Seems okay. So suppose something like this happened. Black is going to have 10, 20, 30, 40 points. White is going to have 10, 20, 30, 40, 45 points or so. So white is going to have more territory than black. And without anything real to attack, it's going to be a white advantage, likely. To make sure that's the case, let's see. Right now, it's very, very even. In fact, black has a small lead, mostly because black is much, much stronger shapes in this game. Okay, So in the game, white exposes one more weakness like this, and the middle white is gonna probably die. This move could be the huge mistake that black was waiting for. Oh, a misclick. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. So okay, so after the misclick, yeah, this. Oh, yeah. Not bad. Not a bad attempt by white. However, black can always connect back here and then capture later. So, and then that's what happened. Okay, so huge losses for white. It was a relatively even game. Black was already not behind, but white having lost more in the middle, now the game is way in black's favor. Black is ahead by 12 and a half. This group is not gonna die, and okay. The Tasuji to save black. I wonder if this group. Okay, this group is like a 50-50 group now. Okay. Okay, maybe black could have played a bit better, maybe not. Any case, after this, black is back again with a 14-point lead. Now, usually the review ends right here with, black has a insurmountable lead and then it's all over. But remember how we played this middle game. White is the one more ambitious, right? Black is the one who was very, very safe and just, I just don't want trouble. I just want to play fine moves kind of a style. I do not recommend this, of course. I recommend you guys have a need for speed, right? And clearly, white is the one with the need for speed in this game. So, yeah. So let's continue and see. Yeah, these are all very reasonable moves, and black actually captures 3 more stones there. Very, very good. And so this game is gonna come. This end game is gonna come to this point, and wow, I can't. Yeah, and this at this point it's already a very, very even game, half-point game. And so did you guys see where black went wrong on the end game? I did not. At this point, black is ahead by 14 and a half. At this point, black is ahead by 14. At this point, black is ahead by 13 and a half. But a few moves later, I don't even know what happened. Seems like regular end game, right? And all of us, well, now black is ahead by 5 and a half. All of a sudden, it's a half-point game. So this really shows you guys, this black is still ahead by 3 at the moment, but after this, it is totally even. Did you guys see any noticeable bad moves? I was not able to detect them. This just shows that if you stop trying to get more ahead in the game, it's like swimming upstream. Your opponent is always gonna push you back, and we don't know how the 14-point lead just evaporated. Didn't see any particularly unreasonable moves, and this just shows you guys, leads can evaporate without any, just like that, without any noticeable bad moves. So if you go with the approach of, I'm gonna try to not play bad moves, it's you're gonna find yourself swimming upstream, and it's gonna be very, very difficult to win if you're not that ambitious. And so this game ended with white being ahead by 1/2. We saw that black was the one who gained almost all the fighting. White even made a huge misclick in the middle of the game, and even so, because of the, you know, I blame this. I blame this on the unaggressive, unambitious nature for blacks. The unambitious feeling from blacks play, and yeah. Okay, great. Let's go on to the next one. Okay. All right. Next review. Oh, a very unconventional opening, but as we know, most unconventional openings are just 2-3 points worse than the optimal. So the openings really don't decide games. Okay. Okay, the Joseki is to play d6. If you want to skip it, that's also okay. Black does skip it, and then this is a very old classic Joseki. White plays here, look for black to play another move, extension move that would also be attacking the one white stone. Makes perfect sense. And here it's just like, remember we want to have a need for speed and a very ambitious game plan. As black, we certainly don't want to be exchanging a lot of moves like this, which is going to help white surround territory on the upper side. Okay, and certainly black does not do that, so very good job there. This is noticeably big, but I'd recommend defending the corner. But because black did play this 3-5 opening, I'm sure he has some kind of Joseki complex Joseki planned. Okay. Yeah. In this case, it feels like black wants to Tanuki. This is a Ponuki shape, and as long as this shape doesn't get captured, it's not gonna matter that much. So in the game when black played 2 moves like this, it really strengthened white, and afterwards the black group on the upper left corner feels a little more pressure because of the extra strength that white has. So this is a case where, you know, we're defending the lower left black group, but the more safety oriented defensive move doesn't actually give us more safety. Okay, in any case, fighting escalates to the top. Okay, this move is just inviting black to cut like this, and it's hard to resist as a Go player, this kind of a cut. Next move, we are gonna play this kind of a peep. If you're not as aggressive, play this kind of a peep. These are very, very strong moves, and we destroyed the top white potential territory, and we're threatening both sides. It's really difficult to resist this, and if white really probably needs to defend like this, and then we have a very, at least black is not the one under attack. White could be under severe attack in this case. So given all of this, maybe white wants to just play an even more defensive move like this one. Probably something like this is more reasonable. That's why this kind of a shape is the normal continuation. Okay, so in the game, the following happened, and this is a big loss for black. Probably if we really wanted this, we have to play the cut now and then play this Atari now. Even so, this white gets sente like this, and this might be a bit about even. White may also play this one, something like this. Okay. Anyway, like this, losing the 2 stones to the ladder is very, very painful. For sure, this is very good for white now. Okay. This B18 attacking move, it's taking territory and it's attacking almost surely to be Sente, is very big. In the game, white invades here. Black just protected here and protected in a very large way. The initial inclination is something here where you can slide, do this kind of a slide and capture wherever black, whichever way black cuts, you capture that stone. And you have that slide, and then you also have this slide. So maybe we can play this way. Another one is here. These are all, destroying the majority of the moyo. This move does counterattack k4, so it's not likely very bad. But as long as black connects the k4 stone over to the other side, this is not going to be that good for white. Plus, black just protected here at q5, and then we invade. We're just asking for black to, right? Yeah, so the game bears this out, and then so white does lose this one stone. Here, maybe black wants to just have this shape. The game shape is about the same. Okay. So this exchange is had. Black does play at the bigger side, and white is playing on the smaller internal side. So I think whatever losses black suffered earlier with those two stones is more than made up for by now. Black is up by 2.5 in this case. Very reasonable. Before the invasion, I expect this game to be more white favored. White by 1, interesting. Cool. We pointed out a lot of black problems, but black's position is actually very good. So my apologies to black in this case. If we looked at it more objectively, black does have a lot of potential territory, so that does make sense. Okay. In the game black played here, however, this one is building the fence right up to the opponent, which is very reasonable. We totally understand. If you do want to play this way, play here, that would be totally fencing in as much as we want. But if you recognize how strong white is after capturing two stones, you would be more likely to come up with something like this move, where we just want peace, and we want black to surround the right hand side, white to surround whatever white wants. As long as both sides are surrounding territory, black is gonna come out very, very happy. Again, because white is very, very strong. This move, because black's corner was strong, white's upper left middle side is also very strong. Imagine when white invades here, this one stone is not going to surround much territory, and you would rather have this stone here, for example, surrounding this. You'd rather have it here, making the side, maybe here, rather than this in no man's land. Okay, so white invades here. This, as black, I would be more worried if white invaded here. This is where the bulk of my territory is, and after black played O14, the upper right corner is now totally solid, rock solid. So as white, I don't want to make a life around this area, because black is rock solid, and even if I succeed here, the rest of this is going to be noticeably very, very big. So as white, I'd rather have black Also to note, the bottom here, the N4 area is also super strong for black. So as white, my ideal scenario is to survive around this area. Maybe lean towards the bottom. Remember that move we talked about? Black defends a corner, we play here. My ideal case is we live on the middle right, and then now black is gonna, black is not gonna, you're not gonna see a huge territory from black now. Okay, so this is giving black a very good chance to again do the same thing. Push white home into the white thickness. Push white home into the white thickness. Push your opponent home into his thickness. And as a result, the thickness will no longer be that useful. See how useful the white thickness on the top now. Top is now not very useful. And also, we would have made the additional white moves also not surround much territory. And in the same time, we would be surrounding a very big territory as black. So as right here, the very highly recommended attacking strategy is this. You can play here. You can play what black did in the game as well. We can play this move. All these moves are gonna be very, very good. We're not only pushing white into the white thickness, we're also pushing white into the black corner thickness. Okay, so all these moves will have the desired effect. So to counter this, white probably wants to play some special tactics. This cut, this hane, this is allowing black to do this, and then we do this, we Atari, and then we live. Again, we get to the important area. We can also jump if we want. We can press here. This is how we can destroy as much, destroy the most amount of territory that we can. Again, same as the last game, guys. If we have a need for, if we develop this need for speed, we want to, try to win the game. Therefore, we have no time to waste. We have to solve our problems. Then we're more likely to play this kind of S8 kind of a move. Okay, if we did play S8, black is ahead by 2. I'm sure white extended back because that's a common shape. This is black by 4.5. Okay, interesting. So we did, normally this is a much worse move than the extend back. But right now it's good by 2.5 points. Of course, the AI, when we study with AI, it's always much more than the 2.5 or 3.5, because, like for example here, there's also the follow-up moves. If you go down the less important or the less good road, you're gonna it's like 2 points here. 2 points further down the road, 5 points further down the road, so it really adds up for the maximum effect later. Okay, yeah, it's hard for black to mess this one up. Connect, extend down is also good. Only way black can mess this up is to go for the capture like this, and of course black, okay, so connect, and then the game continues. Okay, these moves, black lost many stones for no gain. Again, if we had that game plan earlier, we could have easily came up with maybe cut on the outside and cut on the inside. Or if we remember that game plan, we would make some kind of a peep and then chase white back home into the white thickness. In fact, here we could even do the reverse direction one time, and then white plays like this, and then like this. Again, just attach on the outside is probably much better. Atari here, make this peep, and then block. If you wanted to do it this way, in the game, these moves lost a lot of value for black. So again, white gets out of trouble. Okay, and here we might have detected a hint of desperation in black's play. Again, because white is overall relatively solid, the better way is probably something like this, where we force white to connect and then we build a very, very large middle. In the game, black tries to cut. This, if white was, remember, white is totally solid on the bottom. If white didn't want to attack black, white would say, okay, we have made some exchanges here. Thank you. I am now gonna push into your territory now in the middle. And then black would be like, we would be thinking, like, what have we done in the last few moves? We didn't make any territory and we destroyed some of our territory in the middle. Okay. Okay, in the game, black does have white cut. And now white comes in for this. Very, very aggressive, so I really like it. The only thing is this move sente? And what I can see later is this position. This is white dead. However, if white can play this Atari, this would be then white alive and black dead. So it might hinge on this code. So however, if black just extends, though, this is going to be sente as well. So whatever white might gain here is probably not worth the cost. So this extend is a very good move now, and black does play it. Great. And here, just like how black was donating stones earlier, white does some of the same. And when white plays here, remember, when we are attacking, make sure that we have making territory is a very good thing that comes with attacking. Making thickness is also very, very good too. And right now, if black extends and then captures the 4 stones, that's 15 points of territory. Another 10 points because it's white's 3 stone captured earlier. So it's 25 points. It's also protecting this kind of a cut. So it's also thickness value. It's also sente because now white has to play this N13 move. So just play this. We already surrounded so much territory, and even if white runs home, so be it. We've already gained so much. So in the game, black plays these moves and really commits to capturing the center. Probably okay as well. Okay, so if white connects now, the middle is dead. Now black would be trying to capture this. Does white have something nice here? Probably not. So that's probably what white was afraid of. But even if this is true, then if white blocks on the right hand side, this would still be, as big as the left side dying. Okay. Okay, black played it safe, did not connect. Right now, black is winning by a lot. So what went wrong for white before? Certainly at this point, we expect white to be better. White by 5. After this, white should still be okay. White by 7 now. But white wanted to destroy all the black territory, and black came up with a super nice extension move. And a couple moves later, black by 11. White by 7, black by 11, just a few moves later. Again, this shows that this goes to show, like, in the middle game, it's very, very important to get right. And if you don't get it right for even a couple of moves, a very, very big lead can evaporate and a very big deficit can be made up for very, very easily. Black by 30 now. And white goes for the desperate cut, but black captures this. Very well played by black in the middle game. Sort of like we sort of see white. White was winning at this point at move 105, and then by move 115, 10 moves, 5 moves each. The swing was gigantic. Just 11 moves later, black is up by 14 at 20-something point turnaround. Very impressive middle game by black. Really recovered well after this big donation earlier. All right, guys. Very, very nice. This game was quite nice. Again, remember this part. Chase your opponent home into your opponent's thickness. Don't feel like be generous when your opponent has thickness. As you know, if your opponent goes home with the thickness, don't feel like don't feel too greedy. Don't feel like we've given up the attack. Just by the connection to the thickness, we have already eliminated much of the effectiveness of the opponent's thickness. What we don't want is to cut the opponent from the thickness. For example, like this. We don't want to do this because white, with the thickness, white has a very natural surround against our stones. For example, like this, if we can't connect if we can't connect home, black is the one who is toast. So chase your opponent home to his thickness, make him run home to his daddy, and then or mama, and then once you make them do that, you have already succeeded. All right, last game. Let's take a look. Okay, another very common opening. This knight's move. The jump would have put more pressure on the upper side, which I do recommend. This one, it's looking for a very specific block next. Let's see if white plays it later. Okay, so first makes the corner alive, and this is quite good. So white needs to make a move to live, but before white does that, white counterattacks. This is quite good. You always want to counterattack before you're totally strong. You guys have read in Go books that you want to be strong and then you want to counterattack. That is wrong. You have to counterattack before you're totally strong, because only by counterattacking before you're strong, the process of making yourself strong is actually worthwhile. After you make yourself strong, your opponent can care less about you like capturing 2 stones and then making yourself stronger. Okay, very good, very good. Okay, this Atari is played. Black needs to connect and make white connect. Black connects. This capture is gonna be, I can't believe, this capture. Yeah, just capture it. Don't even think about it. In the game, white was more greedy and wants to capture something more, and we'll see if it works. Black is gonna play this push. Black does play this push, and instead of capturing white, white must be kicking himself after this. So capture this, already a huge gain, and then we can cut if we want afterwards. We can always play like this. Make sure you play that Atari. Black has to do this now. Much better. Okay. This move. Remember, guys, we want to win the game, so we want to develop a need for speed, which means we want to take over the board as quickly as possible. Therefore, usually moves that are taking over the board are not on the first line. This move is just making 2 eyes for black, but if we Atari here and then capture this smooth stone in Sente later, we can also get our 2 point, our 2 eyes, and also we can capture the outside white group. That would be, you know, that would be great. So this move, black is ahead by 20 now. After this move, black is ahead by 11. So 9-10 point mistake there. Okay. Right now, the white probably wants to protect the weakest group on the upper side now. Something like this. If we play here, because black is now 2 eyes totally like 100% alive, we don't want to add any more moves in this area. Neither does black. So something like this is not favorable for white. So so this way, this extend by black is not totally 100% useless. 100% useless would be like minus 20 points. Remember, this was minus 9 points. So, so yeah. Okay. All right. So now white connects again. If we got this Atari already, then for sure we do not want to connect the 3 stones. Now now we didn't get that Atari, so too bad. We have to connect. This is see, this attack is going very well for black because white is adding a lot of moves in the middle, and the middle is where black is 2-eye strong, and 2-eye strong is super strong. Just for example, there's also this for the future, and then something like this. This is very, very problematic. However, remember, because we lived with 2 eyes now, when we play a move, when we play a move like this, when we play here, white doesn't even answer us because we're 2-eye strong. What are we gonna do? Spend another move to capture 6 stones for 15 points, right? 2 moves for 15 points, not that great. So this is another, but if we didn't live on the left-hand side, then we would be capturing 6 stones and then also making our not alive group totally alive. That would be extremely valuable. So again, that's why you have to counterattack before you're totally ready, because then it's very valuable. So this game, because of this difference in dispositions, remember white was very aggressive and counterattacked before white was ready. Black made himself ready and then starts counterattacking. Even though black has a 10-point lead right now, we still favor white because white has that sense of urgency. Okay, so let's see. Okay, good. Clearly, we can see white's sense of urgency, really going for a lot. One thing, maybe it's better to go for this, and depends on this ladder. Probably okay for white. If white wants, white probably wants to Atari here and then extend. This would protect the bottom a little bit, and black would be in a lot of trouble. Like this, black has a lot of, just noticeably, this is rolling white into a ball, and then this way, black is just totally home. So make this Atari first and then extend. That would solve most of the white problems. Minor detail, but very, very game deciding detail. So now black needs to capture these 2 stones. See if he can do it. He cannot, and that's a big success for white. Okay, black does end up with a ko here, which is nice. So this ko is very, very game deciding, and black does not answer, and let's see. Okay, so an exchange is had. Very, very interesting set of exchanges. Okay, let's see who comes out a little bit better. Right now, this is a huge move. Black wants to play here and capture. Okay, this is not gonna live, and okay, this is Sente. But black gets the last big endgame. So very complicated fighting has happened, and now white is ahead by 10. Okay. Oh, and then bad things happened for white. White needed to play this Atari, and then it's totally fine. Oh, no, 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 the top side died. How did the top side die? So black played... huh. Right, so that's it. Right now, white is ahead by 13 points. I guess white needed to protect the middle group. Ah, I see, I see. I see. So the middle died, and then this died as well. So we had a lot of drama in this game, which is always nice to see. But here you guys see how just a few moves in the middle game. Over here, remember black had a 10-point lead earlier, still has a 7-point lead now, and just a few moves like this, and white is now 2 points ahead. And right now it's even. After capturing this, white should be way ahead. White by 15. So one fight. It's never too late to play aggressively and then win your fights. For example, here white also has this ability to get a Seki here. That would also be strong. Again, just imagine if white was able to get these two exchanges earlier, all of those problems would have been gone. But in this game, congratulations to black, and also congratulations to white for playing very, very well on both sides with a lot of urgency. Remember, we did favor white, even though white had a 10-point deficit, because of this sense of urgency that white displayed. So remember, guys, display the same sense of urgency, and you guys will have a lot of success. Okay, thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.